Okay guys, so today we'll be continuing on with Chapter 2, Powers and Exponent Laws. We'll be starting a new section, so this is Section 2.5, Exponent Laws 2. Okay, so this is the second part of Exponent Laws. I want you to write this down to keep your notes nice and neat. Pause the video, write down the section title, and then when you're ready, come on back. Okay, so by now you should have your title written down. Now, no need to write this down. This is just a quick little review from section 2.4. So our first exponent rule was, if you have the same base and you are multiplying, you add the exponents. Okay, so let's quickly go through this example. Okay, so 3 to the 4 times 3 to the 3. We saw that we keep our base and we add our exponents. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay. The second exponent rule we learned from last day was that if you have the same base and you are dividing, you subtract the exponents. Okay, so we have the same base, we're dividing. So to answer this one, we keep our base of 3 and we look at our exponents. 7 minus 3, we're subtracting because there's division here, is 4. Okay, so with that being said, just a quick little warm up now. I want you guys to try this one. Pause the video, try this one here. When you come back, we'll do it together and see if you got the right answer. Okay, so by now you should have attempted this one. So let's go over it together and see what you got. Okay, so we're using those first two exponent rules. Okay, so we have 5 to the 5 divided by 5 to the 3 times 5 to the 1 times 5 to the 4. So we have all bases of 5, so we can use those first two exponent rules to write this as one power. And I'm going to not do it all at once, so I'm just going to do it by section. So first I'm going to just look at this right here. 5 to the 5 divided by 5 to the 3. We have division. So that means the rule is we can subtract our exponents and keep our base. So 5 to the 5 subtract 3 is 2. I'm just going to carry everything else down. Carry our times down, carry our 5 down to the 1, and then carry down our 5 to 4. Okay, I'm just going to look at these two again. Same base, multiplying this time, so we add our exponents. So 5 to the power of 2 plus 1 is 3. And then we carry everything else down that we didn't do anything with. Didn't just touch this, so we're just going to carry it down. 5 to the 4. We have the same base. So we have a base of 5. We're multiplying, so we add our exponents. 3 plus 4 is 5 to 7. If you got that, great. Give that a check mark in your notes. That's done. If not, please pause the video and check to see if I'm available so we can straighten this out, because you need to know this before we move forward. Okay, if I'm not available, maybe a friend can help you out. But if you're good, keep on playing and we're going to move on to the next thing. Okay, so just stop for a second. Don't need to write this down right yet. I'll tell you when you have to write this down. I just want you to use your own brain now and just think, what do you think we would do here? We have a power, so 3 to the power of 4. All of that is to the power of 2. Okay, so just think about that now. Okay, so here's your next rule. You can call this exponent rule number 3 if you want. I want you to write this down. Okay, so a power like, so for example 2 to the 3 to the 2, or 5 to the 4 to the 3, this is called a power of a power. Okay, the name comes from, it's pretty self-explanatory. We have a power here, and that's put to the power of something else. Okay, and here's your rule. To raise a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. Okay, so before you saw and I'm just going to flick back now quickly. Before you saw that we added the exponents, We subtracted the exponents with division. And now we're going to multiply our exponents when it's the power to the power of. So for example, 2 to the 3 to the 2, we just multiply these two exponents together. 2 to the power of 3 times 2, or 2 to the power of 6. Okay, and this will become more evident as we do a few examples. So just pause the video if you need a second to write these notes down, and then when you're ready, come on back. Okay, by now you should have this written down. I'm going to just move on. Okay, so here's this one again. What do you think we do here? Well, now we know. We multiply our exponents and keep our base. So that's going to be 3 to the power of, and then it's going to be 4 times 2. And that equals 3 to the power of 8. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, and I'm just going to erase this, make sure it's really clear that that's multiplication. Okay, I want you to take a second now, pause the video, write this example down in your notes, and then I want you to try these three on your own. When you have these done, come on back, press play, and we'll go over the answers. Okay, so by now you should have these attempted. We're going to quickly go over the answers now. So we always use that rule number 3, a power to a power, which means that we have to multiply our exponents. So this equals, and you should get, keep your base of 3, 2 to the power of 2, so that's 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, here we keep our base, 7, 3 to the power, so this is 7 to the 3 to the power of 2. So our rule is that we can multiply our exponents. 3 times 2 is 6. So this is going to be 7 to the 6. Okay, and last, 6 to the 5 to the power of 3. We keep our base of 6. And we multiply our exponents. 5 times 3 is 6 to 15. If you got those right, put a big check mark in your notes. Make sure you know they're right. If not, please pause the video and ask a friend or myself if I'm available for help, because you need to know this before we move forward. Okay, if you're good to go, I want you to try these three. Okay, pause the video, give these a try, watch those pesky little negative signs, and when you come back, we'll check over the answers. Okay, so by now you should have tried these bottom three. Okay, same concept. Keep your base, so 3 to the 3, and you just multiply your exponents. So 6 times a negative 3, okay, positive times a negative will give us a negative answer. Okay, and 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, next one, keep our base, 5, use our power rule. Power to a power means that we can multiply our exponents. So a negative 3 times 2, negative times a positive is negative, and 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, and last one, 4 to the negative 2 to the power of negative 3. Power of a power rule means that we can keep our base, multiply exponents. Negative 2 times negative 3. Negative and a negative is positive, and 2 times 3 is 6. If you got those right, correct them in your notebook. If not, check over your workings, see if you can find your little mistake. If you're still having a lot of trouble with it, please let me know so that I can get you straightened out. If you have no questions, you're ready to move on. Okay, next slide. Now this is a lot of notes, I know, but this is the last chunk of notes for today. We have just a few examples after this one. Okay, so I want you to pause the video, write this down, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so by now you should have this written down. Okay, quickly we're going to go over it. So a power like 2 times 5 to the 2, so all this in brackets, see, is called a power of a product. And product is there because it's a multiplication. Product and multiplication mean the same thing. Okay, so power of a product. And you can deal with the power of a product in 2 different ways. Okay, and the first way is a new way that you haven't done before. And you can call it exponent rule number 4 if you want. Okay, and what you do is you can take your power, your exponent here, and you can actually bring it down and make your first number to the power of that power and your second number to the power of that power. Okay, so we done that just right here. 2 to the 2, kept our multiplication sign. Okay, times 5 to the 2. So 2 to the 2 times 5 to the 2. You can work that out. So that equals 2 to the 2 equals 4. Carry over our multiplication sign, and 5 to the 2 equals 25. This is just simple. 4 times 25 equals, don't be afraid to use a calculator if you're unsure, so that equals 100. So this is exponent rule number 4, okay? And all that rule says is that when you have a product in here, you can take your exponent and you can bring it to the first one, keep your sign, bring it to the second one. Okay? So the second way you can deal with this is a way you're more familiar with because it's using the order of operations. Okay, so this says order of operations say we do our brackets before our exponents. Okay, so 2 times 5, we do that first. That equals 10. We have to bring over our exponent here. So that's 10 squared or 100. Both ways give you the right answer. Okay, I assume a lot of you guys will use this way because it's the order of operations. But this exponent rule, this is a nice little trick to have in your back pocket for for the rest of this course in grade 9, Math 9, and for future courses in high school, okay? Because sometimes this comes into play. So that's why I'm showing you this here today. Okay, so you should have all this written down. Let me know if you have any questions here. Don't be afraid to pause the video and ask for help. If not, we're going to do an example together. Okay, so this is an example. I want you to write these down. Pause if you want to write these down first, and then we're going to go through them together. Okay, so using the exponent rule, we're going to solve this in both ways. And first way, we're going to use the exponent rule. So the exponent rule says we have a product here to the power. We can bring our power in to our 2 terms. So that's going to be 3 squared. Carry down our times 9 squared. Okay, then I can look at this. 3 squared is 3 times itself 2 times. So 3 times 3. I'm actually going to write that out. Okay, and then we bring down our times. 9 squared is 9 times itself twice, or 9 times 9. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. And I just brought down my multiplication sign. So now we have 9 times 81. And then I'm going to pop up my calculator. 9 times 81 equals 729. Okay, so the main thing there is just this little exponent rule. If you have a product, something times something to a power, you can take that power and bring it down to the first term or the first number. And then you can take that power and bring it down to the second number. Just make sure you bring your multiplication sign down. Okay, this is another way you can do it. Okay, first you can solve your brackets. Okay, so 3 times 9 is 27. And then we got to make sure we bring this down as well. We haven't done anything with that, so we got to bring it down. 27 squared. If we come over to our calculator, clear. 27 squared, this is my square button on this calculator, is 729. As you can see, two different ways, but at the end of the day, we got the same answer. So make sure you have that written down. Last thing for today is that I'm going to get you to do one of these on your own. Okay, so when you're ready, move on. Okay, so now you try. Pause the video, give this a try. When you're ready, press play. We're going to go over the answer, and then we're done for today. Okay, so by now you should have tried both of these. Let's see how you done. I'm going to do the exponent rule first. Exponent rule says I can take my power in, okay, I have a product here. I can take my power into the first term. I take my power into the second term. So this becomes 2 to the 3. Carry down my multiplication sign. This becomes 4 to the 3. Okay, and I'm just going to write that 3 a little bit smaller so it's really clear that that's a power to the 3. Okay. Okay, so 2 to the 3, that's 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, and 4 to the power of 3 is 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times itself 3 times. So that equals 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, some of you guys might know that in your head. If not, don't be afraid to get a calculator. 2 to the power of 3. There's actually a button here to give you that. 2 cubed. So that's going to be 8 times 4 cubed. It's going to be 4 cubed, 64. 8 times 64. And 8 times 64 is 8 times 64, 512. Okay, so if you got that right, put a little check mark on your workings. If not, ask for some help. Or look over your answer and see if you made any silly mistakes. Okay, so let's try order of operations now. Do what's inside your brackets first. So 2 times 4 is 8. And we bring down our exponent. 8 cubed. 8 cubed is, use our calculator, 8 cubed is 512. And that's exactly the same as this, which it should be. Two different ways to get the same answer. So if you got that, big check mark. Alright. If you've done all that right, you're ready for some practice work. If not, please pause and make sure you're straightened away before you attempt your practice work. Okay, so here's the practice work that goes with this lesson. Write it down in your notebook so you know which ones to do. It looks like a lot, but it shouldn't be too bad. The reason I'm giving you a lot of practice work is that this exponent stuff, the exponent problems, can get really confusing. Okay, so the more practice you do with it, the better you get. So page 84, here's your questions. Write that down in your exercise book, and then we'll get to work on that. Okay, so best of luck with that. I hope you enjoyed the lesson.